My boyfriend proposed at the restaurant where we had our first date. The waitress said, "Back again? Third time's the charm." I froze with my wine glass halfway to my lips. Dominic was on one knee holding the ring box, but his face had gone completely pale. The waitress realized her mistake immediately and practically sprinted back to the kitchen without another word. What did she mean by third time? My voice came out sharper than I intended. He stood up slowly and snapped the ring box shut. She's confused, probably thinking of someone else. But I knew that waitress. Her name was Pamela, and she had served us on our actual first date 3 years ago. She remembered every single regular customer who walked through those doors. I excused myself to the bathroom but walked straight into the kitchen instead. Pamela was hunched over the dishwashing station looking completely mortified. "Please tell me what you meant," I begged her. She shook her head rapidly. "I really can't. I'll lose my job." I started crying right there between the prep stations. "He's about to become my husband. I deserve to know the truth." Pamela glanced around nervously, then pulled out her phone. She scrolled through her photos and showed me one from 6 weeks ago. Dominic sat at our exact table with a completely different woman, blonde, absolutely gorgeous, wearing the exact dress I'd been saving up to buy. "He proposed to her right there," Pamela whispered. She said no. Then 2 weeks later he brought another woman, brunette, beautiful. She also said no. My legs nearly buckled. "He's been proposing to random women at our restaurant?" Pamela nodded miserably. "Same table every time, same speech about fate and destiny, same ring. I only remember because he tips extremely well and always requests the romantic corner booth." I walked back to our table feeling like I was underwater. Dominic was sweating now and constantly checking his phone while glancing toward the kitchen. When he saw me, his face lit up with that hopeful expression that used to make my heart flutter. Now it made me nauseous. "Everything okay, sweetheart?" I sat down and smiled sweetly. "Actually, I was thinking, before I give you my answer, tell me the story behind this ring again." He launched into his rehearsed speech about his grandmother's heirloom passed down through generations and saved for someone truly special. I listened to every polished word. Then I pulled out my phone and showed him Pamela's photo. His face collapsed like a demolished building. "I can explain." "Which part? The blonde 6 weeks ago or the brunette 2 weeks later?" He actually looked offended. "Those relationships weren't working, but you're different. You're the one I actually want to marry. So I'm your third choice." "Technically, yes, but not in the way you're thinking." The tables around us had gone silent. Everyone was watching now. I stood up slowly and plucked the ring box from his trembling fingers. He looked momentarily hopeful until I walked toward the kitchen door and called for Pamela. She emerged looking terrified. "This is for you," I announced loudly enough for the entire restaurant to hear. "Apparently it's a cherished family heirloom that he uses to propose to women at this establishment. You've witnessed 3 proposals now. Maybe the 4th time's the charm." The restaurant erupted into chaos. Dominic jumped up screaming that I was being dramatic and ridiculous. Pamela stood frozen, clutching the ring box. An elderly woman at the next table rose majestically and hurled her Cabernet directly into Dominic's face. "That's for every woman you've manipulated, you pathetic excuse for a man." Her husband started a slow clap that spread across the dining room like wildfire. Dominic fled with Merlot streaming down his designer shirt while I calmly sat back down and ordered chocolate lava cake. Pamela brought me the most expensive dessert on the menu completely free. She slipped me her phone number and whispered that her brother was single and actually deserving of a good woman. That was 8 months ago. I'm now dating her brother and he treats me like I hung the moon. We visit that restaurant every month and Pamela always saves us the romantic corner booth. She told me Dominic tried returning once with another woman. The manager personally escorted him out and banned him permanently. The ring turned out to be cubic zirconia worth $40. Pamela returned it via certified mail with a note that said, "Third time wasn't the charm." I framed that receipt. Last month, the blonde woman came back to the restaurant and saw everything that happened. She burst out laughing and bought Pamela drinks. Apparently she's thriving now and engaged to someone who proposed only to her.